This year's WWE Hall of Fame ceremony saw new entrant Mark Henry strike a raw nerve when he talked about how Owen Hart belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame. It's been nearly 2 decades since Owen's untimely death, and while most fans agree he's Hall of Fame worthy, he hasn't been inducted yet. Here are the reasons why Owen Hart isn't in the WWE Hall of Fame. Owen Hart, a talented wrestler and a beloved figure amongst both wrestling fans and his colleagues. But he's a wrestler who may never enter the WWE Hall of Fame despite many credentials such as numerous title reigns and a lengthy WWF career. While fans and critics have given different reasons for and against Owen's induction into the WWE Hall of Fame, his exclusion boils down to 2 factors. Owen Hart's death is still a controversial and very sore subject at Titan Tower. Not only did Owen die due to negligence on the part of the WWF, where his wife reached a multi-million-dollar settlement with the WWF several years after his death, but the company's refusal to end the pay-per-view after his accident occurred is still looked down upon by some fans and industry insiders. We won't rehash the controversy other than to acknowledge it still exists. For more information, check out our Behind the Titantron on the death of Owen Hart. The WWE has been careful over the last 2 decades to not discuss the incident. However, if Owen was inducted, there would be no way to ignore the fact that he not only died in the ring, but did so to an unnecessary stunt gone wrong. That isn't to say Owen has been relegated to the scrap heap of wrestling. In 2015, the WWE released a home video collection entitled Owen Hart, Heart of Gold. Around the time of its release, Owen's widow Martha commented, "It seems to be another attempt to exploit Owen's memory and his tragic death for commercial gain. We have resisted that kind of initiative for almost 16 years. Which brings us to the other reason for Hart's exclusion, his widow's vehement refusal to allow him to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Owen's widow Martha Hart continues to be unrelenting in her hatred for Vince McMahon and the WWE, a factor acknowledged by many in the industry. In 2017, Owen's brother Smith, who passed away that year, suggested, "The reason given for the lack of an Owen induction is still our former sister-in-law Martha, who still holds a grudge as if the tragedy happened days ago." During his induction into the 2018 Hall of Fame, a visibly shaken Mark Henry asked Martha to reconsider. "This is not from other wrestlers. This is from his other brother. He needs to be here, and I hate that I haven't kept up like I should have. I'd love to be able to look down one day and see OG able to be among us. It's his birthright." Owen's brother Brett has dismissed her reasoning, arguing, "She really is so childish and immature and obtuse towards the fans and the people that loved Owen in the industry to carry this sort of hate wrestling and hate the people in it and hate the fans that watch it mentality to the point that she refuses to let anyone remember Owen or recognize his contribution or just remember him in good ways." While Martha holds no official power to keep Owen out of the WWE Hall of Fame, her current protest makes it all but certain she would bring down a firestorm of negative publicity for the WWE. Even if the WWE wanted to honor Owen with an induction, her protest might prove too much of a reminder as to what happened on the 23rd of May 1999 at the Over the Edge pay-per-view. Some critics and fans have raised the question of what, if any, honor there is in being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Last year, former WWE writer Kevin Eck commented on the situation. "Unlike most sports and entertainment Hall of Fame institutions, inductees are chosen by WWE with Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon having final say. The WWE Hall of Fame has come under significant criticism through the years for being highly political and largely just a public relations tool. When preliminary wrestler Johnny Rodz gets inducted 17 years before wrestling's living legend Bruno Sammartino, the longest reigning world champion in WWE history, there's clearly a credibility issue." Eck is just one of the many critics of the questionable selection process. In 2016, Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart argued about the absence of teams such as the Fabulous Rougeaus and Demolition. "I'm never going to take anything away from any of the inductees that they've had, but to me, the Hall of Fame this year, I have a voice of protest as sort of a legendary figure of the industry. I'm embarrassed that there's so many great wrestlers out there that have never been given their credit, never got their due." Looking at the entire picture, it is clear that Owen Hart is worthy of a Hall of Fame induction, regardless of its questionable selection process. Naturally, There are many more reasons that Owen should be inducted, but the circumstances of his death and his wife's vocal and vehement opposition to his induction makes it unlikely we'll ever see Owen inducted in the near future. One way to deflect some of the heat might be to induct the 5 members of the Hart Foundation. That may seem the best possible way to get in Owen, but Davey Boy and Brian Pillman's premature deaths could make the Hart Foundation's induction just as bad in terms of bad publicity. What do you guys think? Should Owen finally be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? Let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.